Good evening, greetings from Freetown. Really excited to kind of take a few minutes to talk about company Easy Solar, a little bit about my journey, our journey, talk a little bit about some of our fundraising milestones and our experience going through that, some tidbits about pitching, and then some general things that have surprised me over the last few months. So kind of just starting off, so my name's Sintavi Sia, originally from South Africa, but I'm a SIPA alum, also an alum of the class, and yeah, it's my background before SIPA was in finance and management consulting, and then decided to switch over into the energy field, but was always really interested in sort of the intersection of like energy access, tech, and increasingly microfinance, which I didn't really know how those two, all of those would go together, but they somehow have. And so I co-founded the Easy Solar, so Azimuth, which you may have heard of, or might have been the name that came along, is our parent company, and we trade locally as Easy Solar. So if I say Easy Solar, it's really synonymous with Azimuth. So Azimuth and Easy Solar, we're a social enterprise. We distribute and finance solar-powered devices to off-grid households and small businesses in Sierra Leone. We make clean energy affordable to off-grid customers by offering devices on a rent-to-own financing structure enabled by pay-as-you-go technology and mobile money. And as a last-mile distributor, we reach customers underserved by the grid through a network of community-based agents, thereby making clean energy both affordable and accessible. So that's what we do. And yeah, in terms of like milestones of traction to date, we following a survey, extensive customer survey in January of last year. We had entered a few business plan competitions, D-Prize being one of them, Dean's Public Policy Grant, another one, and a few others here and there. And yeah, we managed to secure some funding, so we did a pilot in March of last year, which was really successful. And yeah, kind of graduated, spent the summer last year raising some money from a few angel investors, and then launched operations full-time in September of last year. And today we've made some good progress. So we've got 2,500 customers and active loans on our books. We've got a very healthy loan portfolio and have a presence in 5 of Sierra Leone's 14 districts. And we have 10 employees and 15 sales agents across the country. So things have been good, and we're growing and expanding, and it's been a really exciting journey so far. We're also the first solar company in Sierra Leone who have integrated with mobile money, so offering customers payments through a mobile money platform. So that's been really exciting, and because mobile money is pretty nascent in Sierra Leone, it's really interesting to craft a partnership where we're concurrently developing both sort of a solar on a pay-as-you-go basis, a pay-go solar industry, as well as mobile money. So that's been super interesting just from like tech, marketing, distribution perspective, and trying to figure out and hone out what's the right model. So yeah, I think kind of going into fundraising, we're actually currently undergoing our seed rounds. It's a bit timely that I'm talking to you guys now. So we started off, as I mentioned, really grant and sort of competition award based. But pretty early on, we knew pretty quickly that we wanted to, be funded by private capital, have sort of the pressure to be profitable and be sustainable and kind of be operationally lean and make sure that like, the decisions we're making are, in the best interest of just ourselves or our customers, but investors as well. And it's been great. And right now we're actually fundraising. Mainly sort of with a bunch of angel investors, but we also are talking to like an institutional investor, which is also really exciting and a different kind of conversation. In terms of like information that's really important, So we've gone through what we call like sort of the idea phase, piloting, pre-seed or friends and family, and then now a seed round. So I think at the idea stage, real idea stage, it's really important just to understand the problem you're trying to solve, which I think, if I remember the class correctly, it was kind of the first part of the class is really just understanding that. And it's really easy to have an idea. It's not so easy to like sort of define a solution based on a problem that you're trying to solve. Like I think you have to really understand where's the pain point. Like for example, if we kind of said energy poverty is a problem we're trying to solve, that's not really it, right? The problem that we're trying to solve is that people, you know, often off-grid low-income customers can't afford to finance a $200 solar home system up front. And so our solution is to provide those systems on a pay-as-you-go basis, right? So essentially, like, there's a lot more to that, but you know, if we just said, oh, we want to solve energy poverty, that doesn't really answer the question. So I think when we were thinking about the idea, we were like, okay, well, people are spending, you know, every average household spends about $120 to $150 a year just on like inefficient lighting sources. How do we divert that expenditure into like clean and affordable energy and actually like free up savings and potentially like generate productive income? And when we were going through that, we were doing, you know, some business plan competitions, and a lot of the questions are centered on what's the problem you're trying to solve, who are your customers, you know, do you really understand what the opportunity is, and is your solution the right way to take advantage of it? And I think that's kind of where the idea is. In terms of like the financial operational stuff, yeah, you can have a sort of rudimentary financial model and an idea of like how you're going to do things from an operations perspective, but you know, depending on what your business is, I think it's really those things, like what's the problem, how are you planning on solving it, does it make sense, do you really, you know, understand what the opportunity is, and then I think going from there, you like start to like test and pilot and actually work with customers. And for us, doing our pilot in March of last year was really exciting because we not only able to really understand, you know, what the problems our customers face were and what we were proposing would address them, but we also kind of started asking the question of what's next. You know, like kind of, okay, you're bringing in like an entry level I've done, but you want to also be able to like develop a relationship with customers. And so we pivoted and changed and sort of made our model really centered on upselling and upgrading customers based on sort of their prior credit payment information. So a customer may start in with like an entry-level solar lamp, like $20, which they finance over a 3 to 4 month period. Price that sort of they're paying for energy, and then if they perform really well on that loan, we'll like maybe sell them a solar home system. And if they perform really well on that loan, we'll sell them like a solar powered TV or a solar powered fan. And if they perform really well on that loan, we might sell them complementary products. And so testing and piloting made us really understand, like how good is the solution that you're, how well is the solution addressing the problem you're trying to solve, and where are things that you haven't been thinking about, like, that customers may need. So, you know, even as we've sort of gone past the pilot stage, we're now thinking about financial service products or like insurance, which has multiple benefits. It's a little bit further down the road, but these are things that, you know, you think about as you pivot and change and iterate. So I think from the pilot stage to operations, we knew very quickly that sort of the initial grant money that we had wasn't going to be sustainable, so we raised a round of convertible notes from a bunch of angel investors, as I mentioned, and yeah, through that we were able to kind of launch operations. What was really important at that stage was, okay, you've done a pilot, but can you actually build a business? And the team aspect became really important. Like, people really kind of ask questions about, you know, us as a team, and whether we're the right people to do this, because you can have a really great idea and you can have a really cool like financial model and projections, but if you can't prove that you're going to have boots on the ground doing things and doing things really well, then there's no business, right? So it kind of switches from, oh, is this kind of a good idea? Okay, you have like a proof of concept, but have you thought about like your distribution model? Have you thought about like kind of how you're going to be doing logistics? And so the operations operations side that becomes really important, and do you have the right team to execute that? And our solution had some tech component, and like we were thinking about credit scoring customers. So do you have the capacity in-house? How are you going to outsource that if not? And so like, what's your marketing strategy? Are you going to be doing A/B testing on different marketing strategies? And so that was like a lot of this sort of focus was more on like, all right, you've done the pilot, but you're building a business and you're building operations. So it's kind of shifts to that. And then like at the seed round now where we are, we can't speak about Series A or Series B, maybe in a year from now. But when you're like talking about seed round, well, at least for us, we have like several thousand customers, we have some employees, we have a presence throughout the country, we've tested sort of a few marketing strategies, we have an extensive marketing plan, we understand our distribution model, we understand kind of how we're doing logistics, and so it becomes more of, all right, you've done this at this level, like how are you going to scale, right? And scale becomes a big question. So systems become really important, and not just the core team, but even like how are you thinking about recruiting a really great team of like local talent as well. And then also I think in terms of like how have you performed financially is really, really important. And so we've done quite well, and as I mentioned, like having private capital really early on, like some people choose to be funded by grants, but that kind of put pressure on us to really stress operational efficiency, not at the expense of like testing or really trying to figure out what works for customers, but it was always in the back of our minds. And so yeah, a lot of the questions now speak about your sort of financial projections. Oh, you say you're going to get from like where you are now to 10,000 customers by the end of the year. Well, explain to me how, and how have you addressed X, Y, Z problems, and so it kind of gets more into the nitty-gritty of things. So what advice would I give you guys? You're on the verge of final pitches, hoping to start a social venture. So I think, like, get used to pitching. So even in my, we're like here in Sierra Leone, all three of us, and I don't necessarily stand in front of like a panel and pitch, but like I'm on the phone to investors, or I was at a conference last week, or the week before last, and yeah, just kind of like knowing, really knowing the ins and out of what you're doing. Just like make sure you understand, like always sort of have the elevator pitch ready, always like really understand the ins and outs. You're gonna iterate all the time, and it's never gonna be perfect. Like just understand that. But I think if you've really thought about the problem and you really understand like kind of what you're doing, like let that shine through. And yeah, I think practice. And I think ultimately what wins investors over, or potential people you may be pitching to, could be like a grant committee or whatever, but is in addition to just like having done your homework, like knowing it in and out, like honing in on your like communication and presentation skills, is really just like passion. Like for us, such a big part of what we're doing is, we have this commitment and this dedication to really trying to make clean energy affordable to off-grid households, because fundamentally we all at some level believe that it's kind of like a basic universal right that people should have access to clean energy. And we've designed our business model, we've designed the way that we've done things around this fundamental belief, and I think people really just invest in people that they think are going to go the mile, right? So I think if you want to be in a social enterprise, like, be willing to go the distance and do the work. Like there are nights where I don't sleep much, and there are days where I, wonder what it is I'm doing here. But I think ultimately, if you have that core belief, that core passion driving you, it comes through. And build a good team. No person is an island, so depending on like kind of teams you have now, you may want to like sort of add on people outside of the class, or you may already have. But yeah, the right team, and I mean investors talk about it all the time, but that's really like the end. Like at the end of the day, like anybody can have an idea, but it's about execution, I think, fundamentally, and having people that are willing to sort of, as I said, go through the work and do it. But put the boots on the ground. All three of us have moved to Sierra Leone and are working our asses off to try and do this. And have the passion driving us, have the commitment driving us. So yeah, that's what I would say. And then yeah, for your pitches, have fun. It's really fun to share what you are passionate about. I've been working on potentially just for a semester, but maybe longer than that. Final question: what's been the biggest surprise since starting the company? The fact that if you go out there and have an idea and test it and go back to the drawing board and keep on pushing, suddenly you have, and like, I think being relatively successful has been really surprising just because it's, I mean, I think on paper you think, right, we're going to reach milestones, we're going to do this, but we've literally been in a position where we've had like, you know, a business model and a business plan rather, and we've managed to meet a lot of the milestones, and I think it's just, as a team, we're very results oriented, and yeah, we've just gone out there and pushed, and it hasn't been super difficult, to be honest. There've been, I mean, it's been tough, but there've been no major hiccups. The policy environment is super unfavorable to renewable energy companies in Sierra Leone. Quality of life is fine, and you know, like we have found really great people that have joined our team. Our agents are amazing. Our customers are open and willing to share feedback on things that they found really well, things that they haven't. And so I feel like at each phase that we've been at, sort of idea, pilot, starting operations, now thinking about scaling, we haven't really had a major hiccup, which is not to say that won't happen, but it's been really surprising that how many people have been willing to come to the table and support us. And yeah, we're really looking forward to continuing to do that going forward and to building, you know, one of the largest and most trusted brands when it comes to pay-as-you-go solutions here. So I wish you guys well. If you're on the beginning of your startup journey, I wish you well 2 times over. It's exciting and it's fun. I think social enterprise is so cool because there's that impact aspect, and it's the whole reason why I wake up every day. So yeah, whatever it is that you guys are trying, the problem you're trying to solve, or the social mission that you have, let that push you forward. All the best for your pitches. I hope I've given you some tidbits, more general, but I'm sure you'll kind of hone into the details of like how to define a pitch. So I don't really hone in on that too much. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, I am mostly available via email. I can forward my email on to Eric. Happy to chat if you guys want to talk through whatever it is that you may be on